We're kicking it off with the men's 1500, and we'll see you back here in a bit.
Thank you, John. Really looking forward to this session. I think I might have said that for each of the last 2 nights as well. But straight in, first event. It's not actually a final. It's the final heat. It is the men's 1500 meters freestyle final heat. In the finals, we only use 8 lanes, but in the heats, we use 10 lanes. It's international rules. This is a heat, so there'll be 10 lanes for this final heat. It is heat declared winner, heat 4 of the men's 1500 meters freestyle. We saw the first 3 heats this morning, and the fastest seed will be Dan Jervis of Swansea University. He'll be going in lane number 4. The full lineup though is Luke Hornsey of University of Edinburgh in 1, and 2 it's Harry Wynne-Jones of City of Milton Keynes. In 2 it's Alexander Sargent, that was him from Millfield. Here in lane number 6, coming out now is Rhys Grady from Stockport Metro. Outside of him is Dennehan of Swansea, with McGee of Northumberland and Durham in 8, Thomas Treblecock of Swansea in 9. There is Tyler Melbourne-Smith in, well, he was Tyler Melbourne-Smith in lane 3, Toby Robinson, that was coming out. And here we go, Dan Jervis from Swansea, a big favourite for this final. Joined again by Molly Renshaw. Molly, well, he's got a good lane right in the centre, fastest seed. Can he go underneath that 14:54.29, Dan Jervis in the centre?
Definitely within his realm here. He's nearly 15 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, so I think it's likely we're going to see Dan out there on his own, although I wouldn't discount Tobias Robinson. He's actually qualified for Team GB in the open water event, so he'll be in Paris in the 10K. So this is a lot shorter for Toby, but I think definitely concentrating on lane 4 here.
Comes to something when a 1500 is a little bit short for you, isn't it? That's quite extraordinary. The 10K takes, what, about an hour and 50 minutes, something like that, for the top guys. A bit of interesting controversy about Paris, whether the water quality is going to be good enough for the open water guys. They're going to be swimming in River Seine, which is going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. I think Toby's raced all around the world, you know. He's been on the open water scene for a long time now, so I'm sure he's just happy to be on that plane to Paris, and he'll swim in whatever water.
Sure he will. Well, Dan Jervis is the fastest seed. He is the outstanding athlete in this final heat of the men's 1500 metres freestyle in terms of 1500 frees. Toby Robinson, of course, super open water swimmer in 5. Some great juniors as well. 30 lengths to the pool, the final heat of the 1500 metres freestyle. And I've got to say, the British record, well, it's stood since 2004. It's a 20-year-old record set by David Davis at the Olympics in Athens 20 years ago. It's the oldest record in the book by a full 5 years. Quite amazing.
Yeah,
were you born when he did that?
Oh, absolutely. I was 8 years old. Don't worry.
8 years old.
But no, it's such an impressive swim, and I know Dan's been chasing that British record for such a long time now. So he always seems to perform really well at the trials. So I wouldn't put it past him to break that tonight.
Well, nor would I. We'll keep a check on his splits. His lifetime best just outside that British record. His entry time and his lifetime best, which he set at this meet last year, 14:46.95. His first split there, 55.49. So he's actually just half a second inside his own lifetime best at the 100 metres. That's very, very fast. I do hope he's got this pacing under control, because if he's not, this is going to hurt like an absolute wild thing.
Absolutely, but you know, I know Dan trains really hard over in at Swansea Uni with Adam Baker, so he's very well prepared for this longer distance, and I think he knows he's going to have to take this race out strong from the start if he is going to dip under that British record. I don't think the qualifying time is too much of a worry for him. I know he gets fairly nervous for the races, but it's definitely within his reach, and I'm sure he's just aiming for this British record here.
Well, the programme at Swansea University really has taken on some great strides recently with their high-performance link-up with Swim Wales. Athletes now got access to all sorts of essential services to deliver that very highest quality performance. nutrition, soft tissue, physio, performance lifestyle, etc. And they've also changed the way they do their coaching as well, with Adam Baker now, the coach of Dan Jervis, focusing on the distance freestyle. Not a surprise that. So Stuart McNary on the back and the fly, and Entwistle on the sprint through the breast and the medley. So let's see what the split is here. 2:24.1. Well, he's a full second still inside his own lifetime best split at the 2:50. That's very interesting indeed. He's gone off fast. If he can just hold it now and stay there, that would be a British record if he can be a full second underneath this. I do hope he can break it. I mean, nothing against David Davis, but you know, it's time to break that British record, surely.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, records are set to be broken. I know Dan's chased this so many times, so yeah, I'd love to see him do well here. And it looks like Tobias Robinson, also known as Toby, he's going with him as well. He looks great here.
Well, this certainly will be good for Dan. Have somebody chasing him. He's on his feet. And he's holding on pretty well. That was the 300 metres turn. So it's 6 lengths down, 24 to go at that last turn. Gracious me. 24 lengths still to go, 23 at this turn, and Dan Jervis looking very comfortable indeed. He started well. Lovely, long, powerful stroke. And his coach, well, we've already mentioned his name. We'll say it again. Adam Baker's done a really super job with him over the years. Can he get the qualification standard of 14.54? I think you said a second ago, Molly, that it should be quite comfortable for him. If you said that, I agree. If you didn't, well, I disagree that, because I think he can do it. It's just whether he tries to go for that British record. What do you think?
I think Dan will definitely be rested for this, so he needs to kind of use opportunity. So the qualifying time is 14.54 and Dan's PB is 14.47. So his PB is comfortably under that. So I think if he is rested, he's definitely going to be aiming for that British record.
So he's 3 seconds faster than David Davis was at that last turn when David Davis broke that British record. But the way David Davis swam, he came back very quickly in the second half, a little bit faster than Dan. So Dan's out faster than he's ever gone before. Can he hold on? He's still just about a full second ahead of his own lifetime best split. And his lifetime best is actually just about half a second outside of the British record. So there we go. That's the 500 metres turn. So 500 down, 1,000 metres to go in this final heat of the men's 1500 freestyle. And as you pointed out a couple of minutes ago, Molly, it's great to see Toby Robinson going with him, because this is not a slow pace at all. It really isn't. And if this is a warm-up for his open water 10,000 metres at the Olympics, which he's already qualified for, the black hat there of Toby Robinson of Loughborough University in second, he's just tucking in there. This is really impressive so far. Yeah,
really impressive. And I think Toby's been aiming for this Olympic qualification for quite a few years now. So when he did it a few weeks back in Portugal, I was so relieved for him. And I think he's probably just gained confidence from that. And he has absolutely nothing to lose here. Like, he is already on the plane. He's not in the pool. He's going to be in the lake, as you mentioned. But yeah, no, he looks amazing, and we know because he has that endurance aspect from the 10K, he's going to come home strong. So getting out there with Dan is looking really positive.
Well, it's going really well at the moment. Let's see, 5:52 for that split, 5:52.4, and it's 5. Let me see, where have we got to? 5:54.2. So he's well ahead at the moment, isn't he? He's doing very well. He was splitting 29 nines. We'll just follow his 50 metres, 29 nines, 29 eights, 30.0s when he set his lifetime best. So this at the moment is looking very good indeed. Let's see the split, 29.7. So he's about 0.2 of a second faster per 50 at the moment than when he set his own lifetime best. And this is definitely looking like it's got great potential for that British record.
Yeah, definitely. And I think although 0.2 doesn't sound like a lot over a 50, once you add that up over 30 lengths, it soon makes a big difference. But no, both boys in the centre look great, to be fair. You can see them breathing every 2 currently, just getting in as much oxygen as they can. It's a long race. So they want to make sure they're kind of regulating that breathing, keeping the stroke nice and smooth, and just seeing how fast they can keep pushing it.
Well, now he's 2 seconds inside his own lifetime best. That is amazing. This is going to be the halfway turn coming up now. So Jervis first, Robinson second, and Robinson having an absolute worldie here. His best time is 14 seconds slower than Dan Jervis, and Dan Jervis is going faster than his own lifetime best here. So Jervis maybe just starting to stretch the lead a little bit, but let's hope that Dan Jervis can keep on going here and Robinson go with him. So there's the halfway mark, and if he does 2 of those, 7:21, it'd be wow, it'd be 14:43. Wouldn't that be something special?
Yeah, and Dan, when he set his personal best, he actually negative split. So he went out in a 7:23 on his personal best and came back in a 7:22. So we know he's got that really strong back end. So to be 2 seconds under his PB split, it's looking really good.
Well, it's amazing, isn't it? It really is. 7:51.7, 7:51, and 7:53.7 was the time that he set when he set his lifetime best. So he's still 2 seconds underneath that. And in terms of the British record, he's 3 seconds faster than David Davis was at that last turn. So he really is going very well indeed. Can he hold on? It's slightly deceptive, this, because if you look at that, you go, oh dear. Well, poor old Dan, because Toby Robinson is much too close to him at this turn, but it's not. It's very quick.
No, they're both going very quick. And to be honest, if Toby can keep that distance relatively small, he's got a good chance of dipping under that qualifying time as well, which would be quite a big PB for him.
Well, he's got a cracking chance of doing it. Wouldn't that be great? He's already qualified for the team in second place, Toby Robinson, on that open water, but this is really very impressive indeed. So is that the 900 meters turn? I think it is. So the 900 meters turn, and this is the final, the men's 1500 final heat of the men's 1500 freestyle. 8:51. He's still going 29.8s. Well, 29 nines and 30 flats. And again, you're right, Molly. That's a tenth or two doesn't sound a lot, but it all adds up over 30 lengths, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And they both just look so strong. Neither of them seem to be fading. They're holding a really strong stroke rate, and you can see Tobias Robinson picking up his kicking as well here.
So at the 1,000-meter mark, this next turn, David Davis turned in 9:52.5. So we'll look at that. Well, I think he's going to be a fair way ahead of that, still. 9:52.5. Could we see a new British record? That would be something absolutely extraordinary. British record is 14:45.9, but the time here, 9:52.5. Let's have a look. 9:51.5. So he's still a full second ahead, but David Davis maybe just starting to catch up a little bit from that swim that he did 20 years ago. It's going to be tight,
It is going to be tight. David Davis does come back fairly strong, so we're going to need to make sure Dan can hit that negative split here again. And yeah, it's going to be close, but I'm so impressed with Toby Robinson here. He just split a 29 on that last 50, so he's definitely not tiring, and I think he's going to potentially stick with Dan and hopefully get under that qualifying time.
Well, a 29.7, that's another good 50. Toby Robinson 30.1. So he's still on for it, but he needs to keep on going, keep on driving. He does have a fabulous back end as Dan Jervis. He really does. All the training he's done there in Swansea with Adam Baker, his coach, for this moment here. Can he keep on going? The thing that he really needs to do and really focus on, let's maybe forget about British records for a moment. It's just 14:54. That's consideration time for the Olympics. That's really what he needs.
Yeah, definitely, and I think he knows that's well within his reach. So, like I said, he's rested. He's in a very fast pool. If the crowd can get behind him, I think he can use this atmosphere to really, really produce a great swim. And I think that'll give him so much confidence going into this summer.
So Jervis in the centre. He's just starting to swim away a little bit from Toby Robinson in lane number 5, but Robinson having an absolutely fantastic swim. He's never broken 15 minutes. 15:01.4 is his lifetime best. Best this season is 15:04. There's some very excited coaches here. Look at this. There's his dad. Come on, Dan Jervis. This is a brilliant swim. Well, this is the 1,200 metres turn, so he's got 6 lengths left. I'd say only 6 lengths. It's an awful long way, but he's going well. He's going very well. That split, though, 30.0, so he's just fallen off a tiny bit there.
Yeah, Dan's like a little bit slow on that 50, but he's definitely pulling away from Toby here a little bit. But I can see David Hemmings on the other side of the pool cheering on Toby and Dan. Dave coached myself and Toby for quite a few years, although Toby is now coached by Andy Manley in the university group. But yeah, I've known Toby for many years. We both joined Loughborough in 2014, so I'd love to see him do well here. If he could get the pool qualification and the open water, that's seriously impressive.
Well, he's just falling off a little bit. When he set his lifetime best, he was going 29 5s, 29 4s. He's just on a 30 flat there, so he's got some work to do, but it's still going pretty well. Dan Jervis in 4 with Toby Robinson still going well. Wow, goodness me, this is tough. He must be absolutely exhausted here. So that is the 1,300 metres turn. He's got 4 lengths left, 12:50.77. He's still inside his own lifetime best. He's just outside of the time that was done when the British record was set 20 years ago.
Toby Robinson there as well, turning 12:55. So he just needs to dip under 2 minutes for this last 200 metres to get that qualifying time.
Well, Molly, the final 200 metres of Dan Jervis traditionally is very fast indeed, so let's see what happens here. He's on it still. Look at this, come on. There's your coach, there's Dave Hemmings. This is so exciting. Can he break this 20-year-old British record, the oldest one in the book, by 5 years, set in Athens Olympics when David Davis won that medal there. He's got 100 metres to go with this turn. He's going to get the bell. Can he do this last 100 metres quickly? Come on, Dan Jervis, let's break this British record.
He's going to need a really fast 50 here. He's slightly off his best time at that turn, so he's going to need to really push it on here. You can see him really picking up the pace. His legs are going. Tobias Robinson going with him too. Oh, I hope he can get it.
Well, he really is flying down this last 50. The crowd really trying to lift him, trying to help him. He's about a half a second outside of his lifetime best split with 100 metres to go. His lifetime best here was 14:18.7. He's just gone 14:19.7, so he's about a second down, but this is a brilliant swim. He's certainly going to do that nomination time for the Olympic Games here, and still going well is Toby Robinson in lane 5. But here we go, 25 minutes to go for the champion, Dan Jervis from Swansea University. This is a brilliant swim, the second fastest British swimmer in history, and he's going to do the nomination time for the Olympic Games, which is 14:54.29, 14:54.29, and he's absolutely smashed it. Well done, sir. Oh my goodness me, 30 legs of the pool. Oh, look at that. Oh yes, well, he's delighted. He doesn't care 2 hoots about the British record. Do that in Paris, Dan. He's just qualified for the Olympic Games. Well done.
Amazing, so happy for Dan, and so close for Toby. He's literally just missed out by a few tenths of a second there over 1,500, but like I said, he's already on the plane, so he can't be disheartened with that, and that's put him in a great position in front of the selectors if he does want to potentially swim in the pool on that first week.
Oh, look at that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well, that's it really is something special, isn't it? It really is, to qualify for the Olympic Games again. And look at that time, 14:47.9. It's only, 1.4 seconds outside of his lifetime best. Second, Toby Robinson, first time under 50. That's a massive milestone for Toby Robinson. That is brilliant. Third was Alexander Sargent in 15:19. Fourth, Tyler Melbourne Smith, 15:21. Very good swims from both of them, 2 lifetime best from them. Fifth was Reece Grady, also in a 15:21. So some great swims, but really all about Dan Jervis, and that's nomination time for the Olympic team. It must be such a weight off his mind.
Absolutely, and I know Dan unfortunately suffered with a little bit of illness in Tokyo, so using that as a real confidence swim, I think that's really exciting going into the summer. If he can kind of look after himself and keep building upon that, it's really exciting for the summer. And that's his dad there that you can see straight after the race embracing him.
Wow. Wow. That's so good to see. Gracious me. It is quite emotional, I've got to tell you. Look at that stroke, beautiful stroke. Those guys in Swansea know how to coach distance freestyle, don't they? Look at that. Beautiful. Well, the fastest 2 Brits in history, both Welshmen. David Davis still holds the British record. I'm not sure he's going to have it for that much longer, you know.
I'd like to see Dan get that in the summer. Surely he has to, I think. Bringing that kind of energy from Olympic Games, having a huge crowd behind him.
So confirmation of the result of that final heat of the men's 1500 metres freestyle, and what a heat it was. Dan Jervis winning in 14:47, a new qualification time for the Olympic team, and he's now talking to John.
Starting with a bang. Dan Jervis, congratulations, you're going to Paris! Dan, huge pressure off your back now. I know you were very nervous going into that race, but that was a smooth first 300. I know you worried about that, and then you just took off.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah, I was probably the most nervous I've ever been, but if I'm honest, this right now is probably the best moment of my swimming career. Like, I'm very fortunate. I've got an amazing support network. I've got my family, I've got my friends, I've got my partner here, and just what a moment. Like, I'm just so happy. So thank you very much. I could see you all, so thank you.
And hear him, right? And I know getting out of the pool there, you're just like, Dad. The surprise having him here.
Yeah, I know. I was like, goodness, he stood right there. But yeah, it was really nice to see him. And, you know, my parents have been there for me since literally the day I was born. So, and like, they couldn't support me more. I'm very, very fortunate. I'm very blessed to have them. So, yeah, thanks, Mum and Dad.
Well, I know you said you're taking just a little break next week, well earned, but looking at Paris now, sights on Paris, because you go in, how are we moving this forward there? What are we going to be focusing on?
You know, the last few months I've really found training hard. You know, it's been really tough. I'm 27, I'm not 18 years old anymore. Like, training sessions hurt me. So, to be honest, that worked. Whatever we're doing in training, I leave it up to my coach, who I'm very fortunate to have him, because, like, I would not be stood here if it wasn't for my coach, Adam. So thank you, Adam, and all the coaches in Swansea and my team. But just to enjoy it, that's all I want to do. I just want to enjoy it, and I swim well when I'm enjoying it.
Oh, well, I'm really glad you did, and look, congratulations, mate. British champion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dan Jervis, off to the Olympics. And Tobias, I can't forget about you, because that was a massive PB for you. Did you know you were moving that quick?
Look, open water has been the focus for me this year, and I wanted to come in here and just see what I could do on 15, hopefully break 15 minutes. That was my aim, and to go well below that, I'm just so happy.
Well, it was an amazing swim, and look, congratulations, a British silver medal. You crushed it. Alexander, a bronze medal, of course, for you as well, but another great swim, chasing down these boys. You got to be feeling good about it.
I mean, they are fantastic competitors, and I've really looked up to Daniel for the last couple of years. So yeah, really happy. Nice 15-second PB, so really good race with Tyler as well. So big shout out to him.
Oh, we love it. Well, look, congratulations, a bronze medal. You guys kicked us off with a bang. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for your British medalists.
Look at this. Dan's dad presenting the medals. Dan's dad, Daddy Jervis, Jonathan Jervis. What a proud moment this must be. The bronze going to Alexander Sargent of Millfield School. Huge lifetime best for him, 15:19. What a swim that was. And Toby Robinson, off the charts for him as well. The first time under 15 minutes. That 15 minutes for 1500 metres freestyle is a massive, massive milestone. He's just gone 14:54. Well, he's on the train to Paris. Dan Jervis just booked his ticket, wins the 1500 metres freestyle in a nomination time for the Olympic Games, 14:47.